we're back. So, after the massive pain in the ass that it was to set this up, me and my kid brother Eric are here to break down the previous season of Demon Slayer, the Entertainment District Arc. So, let's break that down. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
So like I said, major pain in the ass setting this up. Major pain in the ass setting this up, but I think we got everything working. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm honestly a bit concerned, so if anybody out there, if you don't get any audio, let us know. But here I am joined by my kid brother once again, Eric. Are you good? Can you hear me? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm listening to the stream. I can hear you.
All right.
I gotta see if I can hear myself.
Listen, I can hear you, so that's something. 6 emojis 4. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate that. We're trying this for the first time. I didn't want to do it because mainly look at Eric's camera. He looks terrible. It's disgusting. It's gross. Like there's.
Okay, I have audio.
You're all flat. Like, look at that thing. I hate it. It's gross.
Yeah, but my audio is pristine, baby.
There you go. I'll give you that. It's really nice. But yeah, this was a major pain in the ass. I gotta tell you, I did not enjoy that. I was not a fan of it, but
what's funny is I opened up OBS on my end to sort of fix it up, and I got it in like 5 minutes.
Well, you're lucky. Like I was just straight up not having a good time. I did not enjoy that. I was not a fan of it. I did not like it, but we'll see. Maybe it's at least we don't have that weird delay thing. But
also we it's probably a one and done, right? Like now that we've gone through
the hard part.
Struggle now.
So I don't think you know what one and done means. You're saying that we're gonna do this once and never again.
I just got off a 12-hour shift. I don't care.
All right, fine. So listen, what you're saying is true. Now we can do this a little bit more regularly. All right, we can hang out. Yeah. We can talk. Now we can do the football stuff. We can talk Otako Tuesdays. There you go. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Not wear pants.
Exactly. You can fix your camera for next time, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
I don't know how to improve the quality. I don't know.
Maybe try to be a little bit louder. Just a little bit louder.
Louder? I can turn it up a bit.
Yeah, just.
How about that?
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to be talking Demon Slayer, the Entertainment District Arc. So this is kind of confusing for everybody. It's confusing for me. Basically, this is how we're going to handle it. We're going to call the Entertainment District Arc Season 2. Alright? Because this whole thing, the way the Demon Slayer works is first season came out, then came out the movie Mugen, then the movie came out, Mugen Train, but then they broke down the movie into a season, so they call that Season 2 whenever you're streaming it. It's very confusing. And then the next season came out, which is the Entertainment District Arc, and they're calling that Season 3, but technically it's Season 2 if you don't count Season 2 because Season 2 was the movie. It's very confusing stuff. But
it's a little fucked. It's kind of like in they did that with JoJo as well, and it really fucked up the seasons. JoJo Part 1 and 2, they joined it into one season because it wasn't that long. Mm-hmm. So Season 1 is JoJo Part 1 and 2. So JoJo Part 3 is Season 2.
That's very confusing.
JoJo Part 4
well,
is Season 3.
It's like the Japanese don't give a fuck, It's
I'll never forgive the Japanese.
Madness all around. So for simplicity's sake, we're going to call this Season 2, all right? The movie's Mugen Train, this is Season 2. There you go. Season 3 is going to be done next week, and that's why we decided we got to do this now. Because then it's not going to make sense. How are we going to review the Swordsmith arc, the Swordsmith Village arc, if we haven't done this one? Because this one was epic. This season,
it was fucking awesome.
It was the best. It just, it's balls to the walls. I loved it. It was phenomenal. Like, while I was watching this season, I just kept, but before we even get to the season, just for those of you who don't know, and you're curious about the show, I highly recommend it. Season 1 it's basically the story of a guy whose family gets slaughtered, whose sister gets turned into a demon, and demons are basically kind of vampires, and so he wants to save his sister, and he wants to take revenge on the person who did this to him, who's creating all the demons, and so he joins a a group of warriors called the Demon Slayer Corps. Is that fair? Is that a fair description?
That's I
that
think you got
accurate?
it. And
All right,
they fight
okay.
a vampire Michael Jackson.
Yes, pretty much. Imagine a vampire Michael Jackson instead of yeah. There you go. So that's season 1. I'd say it's good at first, and then really good at the end. Once they introduce all the secondary characters, which would be Inosuke and Zenitsu, I remembered.
Good on you. Are
Yeah.
you reading it?
What?
You're reading it somewhere.
No.
aren't you?
I just remembered it.
Bullshit.
I swear to God, I'm not reading it. I do have the thing here, but I didn't read it because I wanted to remember. Because for those of you who don't know, I'm a retard when it comes to names. Anyway, so once
Big
they
one.
once they introduce them, the show gets really good. In the movie, you actually get to see the elite Demon Slayers in action, the Hashiras, and that again the movie would be Mugen Train, and the Hashiras in action are epic. And I'd
They
say
get a lot of animation budget.
yeah, Ufotable does very beautiful animation. For a regular season, for the movie, they went even, one step higher. And so, the Hashiras are the shit. And usually there's a problem when they introduce, let's say, like in the Zodiac Warriors, when you get to see the gold warriors and all that stuff, that you can see a
It's
massive...
Saint Seiya, you nerd.
Fine. Saint Seiya. So you can see... The problem with seeing the Gold Warriors fight is that then there's a massive downgrade in the quality of the fights of the main characters because they're not on the level. One thing that was good with Demon Slayer is that they kind of kept the level, at least with season 2. So you got Mugen Train, the epic fight with the Hashira, and then the next season they maybe even stepped it up in many ways. Like the main characters are no longer slobs. They're no longer the C or the D squad. I'd say they're B or the A squad. So I'd say that was a really good thing. And again, what's up?
I think we can pretty much spoil Mugen Train at least here to give a little context for season 2.
I mean, if you want, sure.
Well, because part of the thing with the main character's motivation for season 2 and why they started training so hard was the fact that the main Hashira in Mugen Train, he fights but he ends up dying.
Rengoku.
Yeah. Fuck you, you read that.
No, I didn't. I swear to God.
I saw your eyes go.
I swear to God.
You're full of shit.
No. I swear to God. I didn't read it. I just remembered it. Rengoku.
All right.
I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
All right. Probably because it has Goku in the name.
Maybe. You'll never know.
Yeah, so he's kind of like, how would you describe his personality? He's very like senpai.
Delicious. He's delicious. He's kind of like a
hyper...
psychopath. Like you can see the white around his eyes. He's always smiling, uber confident, and so
he immediately is like that guy that all 3 main characters like admire, and they're like, "Yo, this guy's fucking awesome."
Dude, well, I mean,
and then
like
they see him fight, and they're like, "He's fucking legit."
Like the dude lives up to being the Flame Hashira, so it's he emits fire basically. Like you can see, like, dude, he's fire. He's got the personality for it. He's got all the confidence in the world. He's uber energetic. Again, the white around his eyes. He's kind of crazy. And so Rengoku was the shit. Like he was fun. He was enjoyable. Seeing the fight with him. You were saying that you wanted to clarify something.
Yeah, basically, they fight the demon, with a very powerful demon in the train, and they manage to kill him. But at the, the train crashes, and it turns out that an actually more powerful demon, what would you say, kind of like ambushes them?
So there's many types of demons, and the most powerful demons, they're basically the main villain's lackeys. And they're the upper demons, the upper 6, and the lower 6. So in the movie, they take down like the strongest of the lower 6, and then upper 3 shows up, and that's when the movie really gets going. Well, I mean, no.
Upper 3 is because I haven't seen it in a while, so I forget the rankings.
It's upper 3
is like literally top 3, right?
Yeah, top 3. So upper 3 shows up, and so that's where the movie really gets balls to the walls crazy. That's like, oh my god, you don't see it coming, comes out of nowhere, epic fight, and
because
you can
it's one of those things that they just fought an ultra powerful demon, and they barely eked out a victory, you know?
Love you
And all
too,
of a
ma.
sudden, yeah. And all of a sudden, they're licking their wounds and, like, all right,
Like,
the
we
fight's
did it.
over.
We took down a lower demon. All right. By the way, lower
It's like,
demon
I don't know.
is not a bad thing.
It's like when they beat Nappa and all of a sudden Vegeta's there, you know? Like, oh, well,
Insecto.
yeah.
So yeah.
It's like, oh, we're fighting the androids and now it's fucking Cell.
Yeah. It's like, seriously, and out of nowhere, like out of freaking nowhere. And so that's the movie's phenomenal because of that. And this kind of goes to the show in general. Just when you think you're out of it, you're not. In fact, that's probably when the situation gets the most dire. And so in the movie, Rengoku gets killed, and it looks like he beat Upper 3, but Upper 3 runs away. And so the main characters...
He leaves them like almost, against the
Well,
ropes, you know?
well, basically, Rengoku, like, he allowed Upper 3 to... Well, let's just say he allowed Upper 3 to get a kill shot in order for him to entrap him so that when the sun comes out, he'd be dead. But Upper 3 ripped his own arms out and ran away. And so the main character was just super upset that he couldn't do anything to help Rengoku. He realized that he's way out of his league. And so that sense of desperation of losing a dude that they super admired, that they saw how powerful he was leagues away from their power level, get killed like that. And so they decided, no, we gotta train extra hard now. We were going hard, we gotta go 100 times harder because we're not on that level yet. But Rengoku says that he believes that we can, and so we're gonna believe him. And he already says he believes, so now all we have to do is believe ourselves, and so let's go. And so they started training like crazy.
Yeah, so that's sort of the context for the beginning of season 2 and why they start out season 2 training like crazy, right? If I
Well,
remember
no,
correctly?
season 2 starts with the main character, Tanjiro. This guy. He was very he was deadly injured. He had a lot of injuries from the last fight. Everybody had a lot of injuries from the previous fight, so they were recovering. And while he was recovering, he went to deliver a message to Rengoku's dad and brother. Basically, and there you get to see the dad of Rengoku's father, who's a retired Hashira, who's a drunk, and he kind of tells him a little bit about sun breathing. He learns a little bit from him, but the dad's a total dick and he kicks his ass. So there you go. And so that's kind of that's the first episode. And at the end of the first episode, we get to meet the Sound Hashira, which is the best fucking Hashira in the entire season. That dude,
goddamn Chad,
is the best. Now I think his name is Tenzin. Did I get it?
It's either Tenzin or Tenzin.
Oh, let me see, because I have it here. I'll look it up. Tengen Uzi. Damn it. Uzui. Tengen Uzui. I was close. I was so close.
You mixed up some letters there, but
Really?
close enough.
Tengen Uzui?
No, I mean, like, you went Tenzin because you combined Tengen, Uzui.
All right. So, the Sound Hashira. And
I can just call him Chad.
this dude's the personification of a Giga Chad. Oh my god, he's so funny. And the way that he is introduced to the show is one of the greatest ways I've seen a character enter a show, because at first you're kind of like, well, to the season, because he did appear before. It's the flashiest way any character's been introduced so far, right? So the way that happens is that he's basically kidnapping two little girls. That's the way.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the way that we get to meet the Sound Hashira. And you don't understand why at first. You're just like, what is this ginormous man doing kidnapping two little girls? And the main character,
it's based as fuck.
yeah, the main,
I have some questions.
the main character Tanjiro manages to convince him, like, hey, instead of taking the two girls, take us. And so he's gonna take him and his two buddies, and he was like, all right, fine, I'll take you. And before he drops the girl, he just spanks her, like, pow. Here you go. Here you go, Tsundere. Get out of here. And I was like, man, I love him. I love him. And then you love him even more because you find out the dude has like 3 wives. And they're like, oh, where is he? Like, I had 3 wives. I was like, are you kidding me? Just when I thought I couldn't love him anymore. Turns out the man.
I told Dario because I watched the second season a good while ago, like a few months ago. And like I kept telling you, like, dude, you gotta fucking watch it. You gotta fucking watch it. It's incredible. It's basically as good as the movie, if not better. And the sound Hashira is just the fucking best.
It's
like,
the best.
Literally less than 10 seconds of him on screen, and you're gonna fucking love him.
Yeah,
it took him so long to get to it.
Like how much cooler can you get? Like he's a ginormous, really buff dude. He's a shinobi, which means like he was an assassin ninja. He has nunchuck swords. Then turns out that he's banging 3 chicks. Like what the hell? Like what? How is this even possible?
He kidnaps little girls. He doesn't give a fuck.
And also, he cares about the characters. And he tries to be a good mentor, but he's also a total dick at times. And he totally conned them into this mission without them realizing it. And so, mentioning the 3 wives, this brings us to a very important question. We always debate who's the best girl of the show. And this time, there's only 3 that we can ask between, right? We got 1, 2, 3, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu. Who's the best girl?
Bruh, the answer is so fucking obvious. Even Zenitsu said, like, damn it, Inosuke, I hate how hot you look.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Again, so
I hate to admit how good that looks on you.
So the San Hajira basically cons them into dressing up as girls. That's what we find out. That's why he was kidnapping a couple of little girls, because he's trying to find his wife. So basically, the dude's actually a pretty good husband, you know? He's like, my wives are missing. I sent them on a very dangerous mission. I can't find them, so I'm gonna send you guys to try to find them. So he's trying to be a good husband, damn it. And so he makes the 3 main characters dress up as women so they can infiltrate the entertainment art district, which is basically he makes them a bunch of what's the word for Japanese hooker, but it's not a hooker? Geisha. So he basically makes them dress up as geishas. And I gotta tell you,
when we say entertainment district, it's the red light.
Yeah, it's a red light district. Yeah. So obviously this requires a lot of suspension of disbelief because these are 3 super buff dudes. I mean, Inosuke is his shoulders are the size of a door, basically. So it requires a lot of suspension of disbelief.
To be fair, their disguises don't really work.
Well, definitely not. Dude, Tanjiro's disguise, when he's confessing, like, no, I'm actually a boy, and the head geisha's like, yeah, I always knew. Like, from the beginning. And he was so heartbroken.
Like, dude, you're not. He was like, dude, you're not. You didn't even.
You weren't
Tanjiro
fooling anybody.
Didn't even change anything.
Yeah.
He didn't even change his voice.
Nothing.
But the geishas just loved him so much because he was,
he was working hard, man. Tanjiro works hard. He was cleaning. Always, he was annoying people by how useful he was. Like, all right, now what can I do? What can I do? He forgot about the mission. So, like, Tanjiro would have been super happy there for the rest of his life.
Yeah, Inosuke basically dropped the act like 10 minutes into the mission.
Well,
like, fuck this! Ah!
Well, he couldn't say anything. He had to, because his voice is like so, like he sounds like a wild animal.
And Zenitsu, he's the one who was actually in the right house, so he basically got caught right away.
Yeah. So I gotta tell you, it requires suspension of disbelief, but it was so fucking funny. Like, I don't care. I'll allow it. I'll allow for comedy. And it's so ridiculous, but it makes so much sense that that's how they would react in that situation. It was great. It was just great. So there's a lot of stuff going around. Basically, it's they end up having to deal with an upper level demon, and the upper level for those of you who don't know, an upper level demon has never been killed by any Demon Slayer core member, and so that's the big issue, the big fight.
Wasn't it upper levels have like
not changed
lived for yeah, they haven't changed.
Well, meaning that they haven't been killed.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing most people have not been killed ever. But
I mean, demons don't die unless they're
you can
killed.
Kill demons.
What?
They
No,
kill
no, no.
demons all the time.
No. I'm saying that demons don't die from natural causes. They need to be killed.
Right. But what I mean is, I think what separates the upper ones is that they've never changed because they're that powerful. And
Exactly.
they've
So
also
they've never
killed a
been.
bunch, and they've killed a bunch of Hashira.
Yeah. So they've never been killed by a Hashira. They've never been killed by a Demon Slayer core.
But I think that applies to everybody that is alive, right?
No, because the Demon Slayer core has killed a bunch of demons. They've killed lower level demons. They killed the lower rank demons.
I know, but you get what I mean. Where, I mean, even if you're like, I don't know, lower 144, you haven't been killed.
No, but all right. So there's upper 6 and lower 6. The lower 6 have been killed by Hashiras, or
They
from
have
demon.
been killed.
Yeah, they have been killed by.
You mean the rank?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like specifically the demons who are ranked that.
Well, first off, right now I don't think there's any lower ranked demons because they all got killed by Muzan, by Michael Jackson, and except the last one that got killed by Tanjiro.
The last one, that was the train one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think Muzan just Michael Jackson just went like, all right, fuck it, I don't need
y'all,
these weak ones.
Yeah, you all suck. Get out of here. And so the upper ones had never been killed by Demon Slayer core, and so they ended up fighting again. They end up in the entertainment district fighting against the Geisha demon, and that's the big bad of the season, right?
That's the best girl right there.
She's phenomenal. She's phenomenal. What would you describe her as? She's not a tsundere. She's
a crazy ass bitch. That's what she is.
Yep. And there's other complications, but that's the big complication in the season. You could
argue she has somewhat of a dual personality.
Yes. The funny thing about this season and the way that it's handled is based off of the opening credits, because the opening credits always hint at stuff that's going to happen. I thought this season was going to have like a breather at one point. So I figured that, the wives are missing. I figured at one point they're going to find them, then they're going to recoup or whatever, and then that's going to be the big fight. But there's no breaks. Like, this season starts off like very slowly but consistently going up. So it starts with them resting and dealing with Rengoku's dad and meeting the Sound Hashira, then going to the entertainment district and starting to adventures, then living in the entertainment district, then getting caught, and from that point on, it keeps going up. They up it every single time. And just when you think, oh, okay, so this is the end of it, no, it's not. It's not even close. It's only just about to get worse for one reason or another.
I think I can't remember exactly, but really once Tanjiro starts fighting her, there's no end to the fight until the very end, right? Like, it just keeps building on. It just they add new characters and stuff to the fight. The flow of the fight changes, but from then on, it's just fight.
Yeah. And so it starts off Tanjiro and then Nezuko fighting, and then you gotta calm down Nezuko, and then it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. And just, it's funny because
when Nezuko shows up to fucking fight, I get so fucking hyped.
When what?
When Nezuko showed up to save Tanjiro, I got so fucking hyped.
Yeah, dude. The thing about this show is that it knows the right moment to just get you, and it gets you. It's gotten me several times. Just when you think like, oh, so this is oh my god, like, okay, so this oh my god. So they've written that very well, and they've animated really well, and they built it up really well. The music pops in the right moment. You get inspired in the right moment. You feel kind of sad at the right moment. They've handled that like money.
The fights have a really, really good tempo.
And you know what?
They don't go on for too long. They have enough breathing room in there for like the transitions in between fights. But like we said, the actual fight doesn't end for like, I think for like 5 straight episodes. It's just fight. Dude. But it doesn't feel like it's, overwhelming. There's a very, very good flow.
And you know what's also really funny that I thought was really well handled and great? this area is not that big, the entertainment district. It's sure a few blocks, but it's not gigantic. And we've seen that the sound Hashira is super fast. So there's a point where you're like, oh, the sound Hashira, he can show up really quickly, he's gonna do this or that. But the dude just kind of slacks around in the weirdest times. And you're like, oh, so he's gonna show up. He's gonna show up. Why isn't he showing up yet? Oh, he's gonna show up. Why hasn't? Okay, so Tanjiro's got it. Wait. Why hasn't he showed up yet? And then they show you what he's doing, and you're like, motherfucker, run! The Tanjiro is dealing with an upper. He's dealing with an upper level demon. Hurry it up! What are you doing?
He's too busy being a goddamn Chad.
Of course, he's reuniting with his girls. I get it, totally understand it, but at the same time, Tanjiro, what the hell are you doing? And also, he's his own worst enemy. He's killing himself in order to kill somebody else, which is based, but whatever. So they've handled timing really well on this season. Well, the show in general, but I really liked it this season. You're really excited. There's a bunch of the fight's epic. The villains are phenomenal. They play one on you that's truly great. I don't want to get into spoilers too much, but again, it's one of those things where you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Really, what's going on? Oh my god, whoa, this makes perfect sense, and I'm terrified. How could this happen? So I liked it.
So what do you mean on that?
So as the fight progresses, you're assuming this doesn't make sense. Did Tanjiro really train that hard? How is he holding his own against an upper level demon? And then when something happens, when they upgrade, and you're like, oh my god, now it makes sense how Tanjiro was able to hold his own there, and this is terrifying.
You mean when Tanjiro is fighting the demon lady?
Yeah, the demon lady. Because it's a really close fight. Nezuko also deals with her, and you're like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. How is this?
I think it was okay. It was well done in the fact that from the very beginning, that Tanjiro is basically having to go fully all out. Like he's having to use his flames and breathing and all that.
To the point that he's almost killing himself.
His eyes are like red from the breathing that fucking up his body. Like we know that he's basically going, like in the Dragon Ball Z fighting games where you finally get to like your key is all charged up and you only have like a few seconds to use all of your power. It's sort of like that where it's like, all right, Tanjiro is going fully all out against this bitch right now. Yeah. And he almost gets her. Doesn't quite cut it. And that's when Nezuko comes in. And then, you have hot waifu fight.
Yep.
Nezuko grows titties. And teeth.
And a horn.
And they have an awesome fight. And that's when there's a little bit of plot development.
So, here's the thing that I like about how they handle that. They kind of just made her the jobber.
Yeah.
But you don't know it. And
that's the funny thing because at the beginning of the arc, or when I forgot his name, Tengen, the Sound Hashira, when he explains the mission and all that, and he says that, oh yeah, we're gonna go up against an upper 6.
No, he doesn't know. In fact, at one point he's like, "No, we're out of you are out of your league. I shouldn't have brought you here." Like I remember that specifically.
Yeah. At one point
you guys are not flashy enough.
Yeah, he figures it out somehow. I don't remember, but basically, it was kind of a mystery as to why or how this demon, who didn't seem that powerful, was able to kill. I think she killed like 7 Hashira or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what the fuck? Like, how did this relatively, it's a very powerful demon, but not that
I think
impressive.
We can just say it. If anybody's watched the season so far, by the way, just spoiler alert. I think the people who are watching this are probably like, hey, you know what? We saw this series.
Also, if you saw the opening, in the opening, they show this.
Yeah, Sinville is right. He had his suspicion that there was a powerful demon, but not an upper 6.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, interesting at this point. We know that the Sound Hashira Tengen really respected Rengoku. And so he's like, it's made it sound when, I don't know if you remember this, but after Rengoku died, they show the Hashiras. And so the Hashira's like, wow, they killed Rengoku. Oh my god. So we saw Upper 3 was able to beat the Flame Hashira. So we know that the Sound Hashira thinks that Rengoku was better than him, and he's going up against Upper 6. So it could be a fight that he could win or he could not. It wasn't clear. So there was always that particular tension. So as
Tengen thought Rengoku was better than him.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Or at least that's what it sounded like, or he hinted at it. Then afterwards, he specifically says, like, dude, like there's people out there, and they show the Mist Hashira and the Stone Hashira, like who picked up a sword and in a month became a Hashira. Like I'm nothing. I'm nothing. So again, they're building up the Mist Hashira and the Stone Hashira, which should be interesting to see because the Mist Hashira appears in the Swordsmith Village arc. But again, Upper 6 against Sound Hashira. We're like, okay, I think we've seen Upper 3, so what level's Upper 6? Tanjiro is holding his own against her. Nezuko is wiping the floor with her. What the hell's going on? And then all of a sudden, you're done, son. That's when the brother comes in, and it turns out that, oh, this is Upper 6. This is the real Upper 6. And so this really badass hottie demon who's killed like 7 Hashiras actually has a bodyguard. So, and the bodyguard is a total psychopath. And I honestly, I love the writing. I love the writing for this guy. Like, you're so pretty and strong and tall. I hate you.
Yeah, because his whole character is
your
like he's
perfect face makes me mad. And then the Sound Hashira is like, yeah, I know I'm perfect. Yeah. I'm the perfect male specimen. I get it. And so, by the way, I'm not sure. Should we be upset that why is it the guys don't care that they like? We see the Sound Hashira and he's everything will never be us men, and we're like, he's so cool. I love him. And chicks see Nezuko and they're like, that's stupid, bitch. Why did they sexualize so much the character, yada yada yada? Like, why is it that we can enjoy it and admire it and be like, that, you know what, I want that guy as a friend. I wish if somebody's going to, if they're gonna make a live action movie about this, it should be played by Henry Cavill. There's nobody else. Maybe
because we recognize that if that guy was our friend, our lives would marginally improve.
Yes, well, like he's gonna be like splashing wives left and right. Jesus
Not
Christ.
just that, I mean, it's like having a. That's the difference between a Chad and a Stacy, okay? Right? A Chad is someone who improves people's lives, not just himself.
True.
A Chad is someone you want to have around.
Sinville got it, man. Like our lives would be flashy.
That's what you want. That's all you want in your life.
Yeah. So again, the fight, the 5-episode fight, I don't know, 3-4 episode fight is epic. It's filled with twists and turns. It's filled with hopeful moments. It's filled with sad moments. It's filled with concerning moments.
Also, I think the implication was the reason that they managed to kill so many Hashira was partly because of that surprise factor.
Yes.
Of you think you're going up against a strong but manageable demon, and then all of a sudden a surprise like, hey, like. It's basically the end of the Mugen Train fight, where it's like, okay, we're going up against a relatively strong demon, and all of a sudden you're ambushed by a way, way, way stronger demon, who maybe, if you were at full strength at that point, you could have handled, but definitely not after fighting like
dude. The Sound Hashira was at 100% when that fight started.
I mean the Mugen Train fight.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I mean, again, the Flame Hashira was at 100%.
No, because he just got done fighting inside the train.
But he was fighting like mucus. Like,
all
right, he was at like 90%, maybe.
I would argue you probably needed to be 100% to be the number 3
I agree. You need to be 100% when you're at phasing Upper 3, and maybe even more. Maybe you need to be taking some roids. But
it's like when boxers, they start before the fight, they start showboating and wasting energy, and it's like, dude, this is not the moment you waste energy, you know?
Yeah. And so, is this fight better than Mugen Train?
Oh,
Think about it.
Shit.
That's the question. Cause
Yeah.
listen, let me tell you. As I was watching season 2, I remembered a conversation that me and Eric had when we were doing the review for Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, right now, I'd say that the big 3 for anime, the new anime, I'd say it's Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, and Chainsaw Man. Would you disagree?
You mean the top 3? Did
Yeah,
you say top 3 shonen?
No, top 3 like new anime. That it's more for like dudes shonen stuff.
Yeah, probably Demon Slayer.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah,
One
but
Punch Man, I'd put it up there, except it's super inconsistent.
No, One Punch Man. One Punch Man is a comedy. It exists on
all
its
right,
own.
all right, it's not a
It has a
shonen.
different purpose.
So the big 3 shonen right now for the new ones, because I guess Dragon Ball Z is still going, One Piece is still
And Black
going.
Clover definitely fell off.
Yeah. So those 3, and we were debating Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, like, which one do you like better? And I thought, I said I think I like Jujutsu Kaisen more. After watching season 2 of Demon Slayer, I'm like, dude, Demon Slayer all the fucking way. All the way. And now I understand, first off, how the Demon Slayer manga outsold the entire comic book industry in the United States. It makes perfect sense. If this is the level of story that they're putting out there, no wonder it kicked their asses. Like, the movie also, I think, broke a bunch of records, but this season was insanely cool. Insanely cool, insanely fun, and unexpected twists and turns. I don't know what was more like. I started off being surprised by the spank, and then by the 3 wives, and then by the cross dressing, and then by the surprise demon, and then by other stuff, and then the Nezuko titties, and it was wild, man. It was a roller coaster. I couldn't stop. I started at like 11 p.m. and I kept going. I couldn't stop. Fortunately, I don't have a job, so it really doesn't matter. But my girlfriend was pissed. She was like, "Motherfucker, turn that down." And I'm like, "I can't. It's too good. It's too enjoyable." They made
Honestly,
the
it
fucking
flows.
Japanese.
It flows so well because nothing overstays its welcome. The fight itself, it's not just, Tanjiro against Demon for, a bunch of episodes. It's Tanjiro versus Demon, and then, Nezuko versus the Demon, and then Sound Hashira versus the brother, and then it's actually Inosuke and Zenitsu against the sister. So it just, all these moving parts keep all of the matchups kind of fresh.
Yeah,
You don't really
well,
know.
I mean, it's not like Dragon Ball Z that a fight lasts 20 episodes because they're just looking at each other and
And every now and then they go.
Yeah. By the way, Sinville is backing you up. He says that I think Tanjiro says so himself that Rengoku used all his energy and strength to help the passengers and prevent casualties. Which is, again,
I think
it also shows the respect that the Sound Hashira had for Rengoku. He was like, he actually mentions that Rengoku was able to save everybody. I have so much blood on my hands. Like, I couldn't save anybody. Well, I mean, he saved some people, but there was a lot of death going on in the entertainment district during that fight. And I mean a lot of death. And so maybe that's why he thought Rengoku was better, because he's like, Rengoku, he actually saved people. Me, I'm just the killer, and I don't save anybody. Maybe that's how he measured it. I don't know, but
maybe he thought I see Rengoku as like a better person.
maybe it's possible. But I mean, Rengoku didn't use kick-ass sword nunchucks, which is the animation for the fighting style for those nunchucks was phenomenal. I just kept wondering, like,
for fucking everything was phenomenal.
yeah, but to me, my favorite part, I wanted to see it. I wanted to see the nunchucks in action. I thought, are they going to do some kind of BS and stuff? How are they going to coordinate it? And so I actually kind of went like slowly for the big fight, and it's like, how did they do this? And then without what? Oh my god, these animators are insane. Like, the amount of
Ufotable only do like 2 anime a year, but god damn, they've broken the system, man. Like they make movies, anime movies look like amateur shit
yeah.
compared to what they do. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. And the character build-up's been great. I remember first season I had issues with Tanjiro at first. Now the dude's grown on me so much, And we actually had this conversation before. The issue with you didn't like how they always try to make the villains like have a heart at one point. Like they try to make you feel bad for the villain.
And not necessarily that. It's just there's something about it. Them adding all of their backstory right when you know they're dead.
Uh-huh.
This is like, I don't know, something about that just doesn't work that well for me. It kind of kills the mood of the ending of the fight, which is kind of meant to feel, look, once the fight is over, do we spoil the fight?
I mean, I guess they can assume, but no, let's not spoil it 100%.
Well, let's assume that maybe our heroes end up all right.
Let's assume that the main character turns out all right.
Yeah. It's supposed to be finally a moment of relief after all of this fucking tension that keeps building. It's like, dude, these guys, the news keeps tightening. They keeps tightening.
Tight.
And
it's
if we
tight.
if we know something about, the humans versus the demons, is that a long fight benefits the demons.
Yes.
So it's
Stupid
one of those
healing
things,
factor.
Like, this is going on a while. Tanjiro is already getting like fucking brain damage from all this weird breathing, So
they got him clean on the shoulder too. Mm.
Yeah, moment of relief. And instead of soaking in that triumphant feeling, it's more like well, now feel shitty.
Well, again, that's we had this conversation before, and I agree with you. It does throw off the pacing a little bit, but the reason why they do that, or my theory as to why the author does that, is to highlight the purity of Tanjiro's spirit. So they've done this before and several times, and basically Tanjiro is extreme. He's too pure for this world. Sometimes, at first, that's annoying. And as the show has gone on, it feels more like his strength. And so what they're trying to do is nobody really sees what's happening there. Like the demons they're dying in their own head or whatever. The audience can see it, but nobody else can see it. However, Tanjiro is capable of still feeling, what do you call it? Of feeling empathy with them. Like of feeling having some type of sadness for them. Again, I guess empathy is the right word. And so what they're showing is that this guy, he's so pure of spirit that he can actually have empathy for demons that were just trying to kill him and his friends. And he holds no resentment. But the beauty of Tanjiro is that even though he's pure-hearted and he believes in salvation, all that stuff, that doesn't stop him from killing their fucking asses. All right? There's other characters like, no, we shouldn't do this. We need to save these people. Tanjiro's like, I'm gonna kill you. But
Tanjiro is not Bash the Stampede.
Exactly, and afterwards, I will cry. So I think it'll be really interesting to see Tanjiro when he meets the Stone Hashira, who's always crying. that's a super big buff dude who's always crying. And so I think that mix is going to be pretty interesting. Like out of all that,
I think what I like about Tanjiro, just real quick, is that he's very sensitive and empathetic towards his enemies, but he's not a bitch.
Yes.
Like he knows what has to get done.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I can respect. That a lot of shonen protagonists don't necessarily go through.
Well, it's funny because usually what they do is they use that as their greatest strength, but as their greatest weakness. With Tanjiro, it's very clearly not a weakness, and it's all strength. So he might have, the heart of it. He might want to save, he might want to do all that stuff, but he's very pragmatic. He's gonna be like, no, I'm gonna kill you. Like that seems like the smart thing to do here, because otherwise you're gonna kill me. Because I see the reality of what you are, and it's not a good thing. And you've done really bad stuff.
Really sad about it.
Yeah. Because again, he's a good Chad. And even in the movie, when they go into his soul and it's just pure and beautiful and just, the sun is out and then the reflective water, all that stuff, you're like, oh man, this Tanjiro guy, he's a good Chad. Like, I like it. He's a good chap. I like him. I want him to have good things, in the future. But I know that his life is gonna suck. It's gonna suck. But he's gonna go out there. His knuckles are gonna get bruised, and he's gonna suffer a lot in the process. But I think it's the fact that he suffers so much that you're like, man, I just want him to. I just want to have something good, like something good. It just sucks that it's gonna really, really hurt along the way. Because, I mean, this dude just headbutts people, and that's never a good way to fight.
I don't know. I've seen it be quite effective.
I mean, sure, but you're literally, you're causing damage to your brain.
Well, I guess it's either that or dying, you know what I'm saying?
But I know, but if you look at Tanjiro's fighting style, he's literally killing himself doing it. And we know that his dad was sickly and stuff. So what it's leading to, dude, is this fighting style the reason why his dad died? Is Tanjiro slowly killing himself? Even in this season, they talk about him having to keep his temperature elevated in order to use the fire dance. I forget the name. And so they're telling you, like, this, he will end up being his own worst. He is his own worst enemy.
Well, and I think they explained it in this season that basically the sun style, I think that's the one he's using.
Sun breathing.
That's like the original breathing, like the most pure, the ultimate level of breathing. And it makes all other styles sort of branch out from it.
And it makes sense. I mean, the sun kills demons.
Well, I mean, the sun's pretty damn strong, don't you think?
Yeah. Also, we got to see the upper one. Upper one is very interesting because he looks a lot like somebody we've seen before. So
I don't remember this, but
you don't remember seeing upper one? Maybe it was the newest season.
It could be. No spoilerinas.
Sorry. But anyway.
Well, now I guess spoiled.
You know what? I'm not watching anymore.
Yeah,
done. Get me out of here. You know what?
Now it's gonna be me who takes forever to watch. Oh,
dude! Season. You know what? I forgot to put the open.
What open?
Nani?
Otako Tuesday.
That open. I forgot.
I wish I had audio for that.
I know. I missed it. I missed doing the Otako Tuesday thing. The point is, I loved season 2. It was way better than season 1. I want more of the sound Hashira. I want to see more of the wives. I want to see more of the main characters. I just in general want it more. And I guess I'm not gonna mention certain things.
Why not? We already spoiled everything.
No, because it's about the next season.
Oh, I thought you meant about the Lost Arm.
Oh no, whatever.
Well, I mean, it's not whatever. That it sort of implies that he's not going to be around that much.
He fought better without one. So, again, I don't want to get into stuff for the next season because actually I got to work in a few episodes, so I do know what happens, even though I haven't seen the whole thing. But I love the show. Right now, if you ask me, Demon Slayer 1, Chainsaw Man 2, Jujutsu Kaisen 3.
But here's the thing. We are in the, I would say probably in the midpoint of Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Jujutsu Kaisen, we stopped we've only seen the start, you know?
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man, we've only seen the start. Chainsaw Man, we haven't even seen the part that's considered good.
Fair. That's what I'm saying.
It's one of
today.
those things that it's
I'm
very
saying this today.
To know what's coming.
June 6th, 2023. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Demon Slayer is just simply more advanced in the story. I don't know how good Jujutsu Kaisen gets, but I know how good Chainsaw Man gets.
Well, the issue with Jujutsu Kaisen is that we've already seen the strongest fight.
Theoretically, I guess.
We've already seen Gojo. Here, look at this crazy, like, the thing that they did so well here for Demon Slayer is that from season 1 they showed you the Hashiras, and now it's like, oh, which one's gonna do that? You're curious. What the hell's the snake guy gonna do? You kind of know what the water guy does. You kind of know what the bug lady does, but the mist guy, what is this gigantic crying guy? What about this total hoe? What about this guy who's really mad all the time? So
if you think about it, it's kind of like the reverse Akatsuki from Naruto, where when they introduce the Akatsuki, they show you all these badass characters, and you see all of them, but you're only introduced at first to Itachi and Kisame, and you see them fight, and it's like, oh, well, I wonder what these guys are all about. And it's like Itachi just no difficulty, just fucking slaps Kakashi and the other 3 Jonin. Like, No diff. No problem.
Who was
And
it?
later on,
Who was the idiot who tried to do a psychic attack on Itachi? It's the girl, right?
Kurenai. Yeah. Yeah, she tried to put Itachi in a genjutsu, and it's like, bitch.
Seriously?
Are you also gonna stand and strike against Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Are you gonna get on a slap fight against our boy Rock?
You're gonna go racing against Usain Bolt? All right, bet.
Rock Lee.
It's one of those things that
Yeah.
you see how strong these fuckers are, and you're like, dude, and there's a whole other cast of these motherfuckers. I wonder what they do. I wonder what they're all about.
Mm-hmm.
And with Demon Slayer, it's kind of that same situation where it's like, well, we know what this fucker is like. Let's see the rest of them.
Yeah. Let's see what can happen here. And here's the beauty. Here's the beauty.
And the show does a very good job at not outshining its protagonists.
Yes. Good.
It makes them very relevant in the whole thing, even when they're clearly at a lower level.
Well, that was Mugen Train. So Tanjiro had his fight, and he managed to take down the lower level demon. Then the upper one came out, and even Inosuke's like, I want to go in and help, but I don't see an opening, and me going in is actually just gonna make things worse. There's nothing I can do here. I'm only gonna get in the way.
Me getting involved worsens our position.
Yeah, and but it also then the story becomes not what is our hero going to do, is will this guy be able to protect them? Will Rengoku be able to, outlast this guy? Or will Tanjiro actually find a way to be useful or something? So again, it does stuff. It handles it well. And here's the beauty about the Akatsuki. Oh, damn it, Akatsuki. Fucker. The Hashira. They're disposable. Just like the Gold Warriors and Saint Seiya are disposable.
They're not the main characters.
The Akatsuki, damn it, the Hashira are disposable. So whenever they're in a story arc, that might be the first and last time we see them. Which again, it's awesome. It adds to the tension of those particular characters. I was terrified for the Sound Hashira the entire time. Like, don't take him. Take anybody else. Take Nezuko. Take Tanjiro.
I don't remember how exactly the series of events goes, but basically they make it seem like, okay, now we've got him. Like, basically when the Sound Hashira starts fighting the brother one-on-one, and they kind of, get an upper hand on the sister. I think even they cut off the sister's head or something.
Yeah, and Inosuke runs away with her.
Yeah, and then they turn around and it's like,
no, you're not winning.
Uzui's on the floor, arm chopped off. And it's like, oh no,
not him. Take me. No. Don't take Mr. Uzui. No.
Guess what? If you chop the arm off of a demon, he's fine. If you chop the arm off of a human, not fine.
And he fights with two hands. Again, that was phenomenal. That was brilliant, because you're like, oh, well, even if what is he going to do? And then he's fighting with his fucking teeth. That's freaking epic. That's just epic. Like, that's why I said the nunchuck animation was probably my favorite part, because it's insanity. It was madness. Loved it. Loved this entire season. I'm gonna go watch the next season right now, just to see if it even holds up.
Oh man, one thing, I feel like all of the seasons or everything of Demon Slayer has kind of done this thing of it's a slow start.
You're hype. Yeah.
And a consistent epic crescendo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think it hasn't failed to stick a landing.
No, not so far as I can think.
Yeah, it is. Even like the first season, which was, probably the worst of the show so far. It ends with the freaking fight against the spider guy, and Tanjiro uses his flames for the first time. It's epic as shit.
Dude,
like by the end of the first season, you're like, oh my god, I want more of this shit.
Dude, the fight against the spider guy, when Tanjiro cuts off his head, and then the guy says like, no, I cut off my own head because I saw you were gonna cut off my head, idiot. You're just like, oh my god, this
Jesus.
I love this. The writers understand villains, And it's not just trying to find a way for the main character to beat a really cool villain. Is the villain actually being part of the fight and not wanting to get their head chopped off? And they've handled that really, really well, and it leads to great, awesome situations because there's punches and counter punches, and at one point you're just like, dude, who's gonna end up on top? I don't even know. And who are we gonna lose in the process? Oh my god.
The author really understands their own rules and they really stick to them. Like in that fight, it's like, what do we know so far about demons and how to kill them? You need this special sword to cut off their head.
Yes.
That is the rule, right? You know,
Yeah.
and it's ruled so far. So, wait, what if the demon cuts off his own head? You know?
Loophole, bitch. Loophole.
Literally, the loophole.
Mm-hmm.
He got fucking lawyered.
Dude, and the brother and sister, you just need to cut off their head. And then the bitch just keeps crying and crying and crying. Like, why are you throwing a fit? Why aren't you dead yet? What's going on? I was very confused. But again, that's just phenomenal writing. They played one on you. And that's the beauty of the way that the show has been written and the manga was written. They set up the rule and you have expectations, and then all of a sudden they break those expectations. You're like, what the fuck is going on? I'm confused. I'm scared. I'm also kind of, like a little turned on. This is really weird. I don't understand
I'm very aroused. It is the red light district.
It was. And again, you feel bad for the sister because, she's like, hottie, but she's just totally evil.
Yeah, the sister was a baddie. Let me tell you that.
Dude, and then again, the backstory, you're like, man, you don't deserve this, but you were kind of a bitch.
They did a pretty good. They did a pretty good job with their sob story, I think. What was it that the brother was basically like mega hideous?
Well, the brother was super ugly, and then the sister, if it even was his sister, was really beautiful, and so he was the bodyguard for her. And turns out this guy was really good at fighting.
And eventually her pimp.
No.
Kind of.
No. When the girl turned 13, I guess they tried to pimp her out, and so she stabbed the samurai dude. And then they tied her up and set her on fire, which for some reason didn't kill her. And then a samurai stabs the brother, but he kills the samurai. That's the story. And then they encounter Upper 2. And Upper 2 is the one that turns them into demons. But they have this special thing where it's, you need to cut off both their heads.
Yeah. That was a little weird. But
no, that was really clever. At least I think it was.
It was clever, but I guess the details are a bit sparse. I don't. How much Demon Slayer is left? Do you know? Like, after the season.
I have the entire series of manga. I just haven't read it.
Are you gonna?
Probably. Like, honestly, if I watch the Swordsmith Village arc and it's just epic and it ends epically and I just can't resist it anymore, I'm gonna read it.
The thing about the manga that I've heard is it's good, but the anime has basically done almost everything better. And it's one of those things
I don't doubt it because it's been beautifully animated and the music is so good. Like, it gets you hyped. I don't see how the manga is gonna be able to hype on the same level without the music. But maybe maybe they can. Color.
In terms of story, in terms of plot elements, it's not one of those shows that you're like, oh my god, I need to see what happens next. In terms of wow, what a revelation that we just seen. It's more like everything that we're being shown is cool.
Yeah.
So we want more of it.
So
it's one of those things that's not like once this season ended, I was very satisfied.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what happens next. It was more like, damn, that was awesome.
Oh yeah,
and I'm
you
glad
need a breather.
that it's continuing.
You need a breather.
I'm glad that it's continuing, and next season comes out, and I can't wait for it. But
that's why I couldn't continue watching the next season. I was like, I need to breathe. I need a breather. That thing got my my cardiac levels really high. I need to breathe. I need to relax because it was just so good. It was so well done.
So that's why I don't think you'll have really that much of an itch to read the manga, because it's not really that kind of a story where you're like, I need to know how this ends.
Maybe
It's really very much about the journey.
yeah, because I remember with Attack on Titan, I was like, I gotta read it. Like, I'm not gonna wait. And Attack on Titan, you have to wait forever. With Demon Slayer, it's been going out pretty consistently.
Yeah, and Attack on Titan had so much mystery.
Yeah.
Like there was so much like what the fuck is going on? What's in that basement? What the fuck are the Titans? Why are there cowboys now? You know?
Why has
so
it been 5 years since the last season?
Because Japan doesn't like money.
Yeah, it's really weird. Also, did you notice something about this season? And it hit me while I was watching it, but I haven't mentioned it yet. That the Sound Hashira's wives have the personality of Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke.
Not just that, the left one is literally Tanjiro.
The left one?
Look at her design.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the angry one?
Yeah, that's his design.
Seriously?
Basically. Like, look at it. Even the kind of like the hairstyle.
I guess maybe, but I thought that, you know,
if I told you that
I thought that this one had the personality of Tanjiro more. Like, this one's clearly Zenitsu. I forget her name, but she's clearly Zenitsu. Like I'm scared, I'm an idiot, blah blah blah. And then the one that's always complaining and putting on her place. I guess that she's the one that doesn't fit. Her and Inosuke don't fit, but him actually, it was pretty funny when Zenitsu was like, dude, you two are the same guy. You have the exact same personality. Why are you criticizing each other?
Yeah, but I'll put it this: when I saw that the season was coming out, and I knew a little bit about the premise, I knew that they were gonna go with the Sound Hashira to the like the red light district, and they were gonna go undercover as.
I knew females. It was gonna be flashy.
And when I saw this still image, like in the promotional material or something, I thought, oh, that's Tanjiro, clearly right there. Yeah, they used some sort of magic or something, and okay, that's him.
The magic of makeup.
Yeah, so to me, that was like, yeah, that's Tanjiro. Duh.
Maybe.
If you told me that's trans Tanjiro, I believe it.
You'd believe it.
I believe it. 100%. That's canonical.
You're an idiot.
I believe the Sound Hashira is such a Chad that he could turn Tanjiro.
What you're saying is that the Sound Hashira has some kind of like sexy jutsu where he turns dudes to chicks. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he calls it estrogen no jutsu.
Actually, I thought it was super funny that the reason why they accepted these three ugly dudes into, you know, the geisha houses was because the Sound Hashira was like so good looking, and the chick's like, we'll take him, sure, we'll take him, please come visit him tomorrow.
Except Inosuke was beautiful.
Yeah, dude, no, but back to it. The Sound Hashira's design when he's a shinobi is so freaking cool. Like when he's got the hair loose, it's like, God, fuck, this is not fair. Why do they keep making him cooler? It's not human. Shouldn't be possible.
That's his gimmick. Being a Chad is his gimmick.
Also, it's really funny. It's like he's a ninja, supposed to not be flashy. They're like, no, flashy. I want to be flashy. And at first, this is where I thought it was gonna go. When they showed his backstory, they were gonna show him be like vanilla, plain. Like his hair was gonna be black, short. All covered in black and stuff. But no, he was always this guy. He was always flashy. I was like, all right, you know what? Respect. Yeah. He's at least consistent.
He was born Chad, he dies Chad, damn it.
Exactly. So,
although he
all right, you never told me. How would you rank them? Like, I told you, to me right now, it's Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen. Right now. Again, June 6, 2023.
Yeah, right now, I would say definitely Demon Slayer at the top. It feels a bit like an unfair ranking considering we're in the thick of it with Demon Slayer. Like we're, you know, at the most exciting. While Jujutsu Kaisen, it's still getting it's getting going. And the same thing with Chainsaw Man. Like we're barely scratching the surface of that. There's a lot of, especially Chainsaw Man, which was, you know, short. It was only 12 episodes.
True. I did want more.
Jujutsu was a little bit longer.
And it has a movie.
It has a movie, but that's a prequel, so I don't know if
Doesn't count.
it might be a fantastic movie. I just haven't seen it.
Hmm.
We just need to see more of where that story is even going, because I don't really know where Jujutsu Kaisen's going. It presented a very interesting world, very interesting, ideas, a cool power system. I like the cursed things. I think it's pretty cool, but I can't really tell you where it's going. Demon Slayer has a very clear goal: kill Michael Jackson.
Kill him.
Yeah,
Kill him.
and he's the strongest. We know all demons come from him.
Yep.
So there's very clearly an end boss right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like an unsurmountable goal, and we're seeing, the journey from them, trying to get to that level. And with Chainsaw Man, I would say it's similar to Jujutsu, where we kind of have an end goal, but I don't even believe that that's really the end goal.
Okay.
Because when you understand like the devil's system that exists in Chainsaw Man, it's like we even spent like a whole afternoon after we watched the season ending or whatever,
Trying to
where
guess.
it's like, dude, dude, think about it, like there's okay, the devils are personifications of people's fears.
So what would be the most powerful one?
Yeah,
The
what's the
CIA.
scariest fucking thing?
The
Yeah.
CIA.
Because okay, we're going against the gun devil. That's scary. That's pretty powerful. A lot of people are scared of guns, but it's not the scariest thing. Is there a nuke devil?
There's got to be
Is
a
there
new
a-
demon. A devil.
Is
Yeah.
there like a is there a heat death of the universe devil?
Is there a
you know?
is there a Satan devil?
Yeah. Like is there a god devil? Fear of God? I don't know. That's the show that keeps
Is there
gets
a
my mind
Kraken?
going the most. So I think the one I'm most excited about in terms of plot is Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
But in terms of just consistently high fucking quality and a consistent good time, Demon Slayer right now ranks at the top because that's just how it's been. It's about how you fucking leave them,
And it's always been
And
good. It's been consistently
It
good.
always leaves you like right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited to actually, hop back on. Maybe I'll even hop on back on this week after work and start watching the next season.
I mean,
because it has that bad bitch right there.
of course, the love Hashira. I'm very curious to see what's up with her. I'm gonna finish it this season. This season probably this week. If you finish it, then we'll talk about it. If not, we need to plan what we're gonna talk about next week. So we're gonna have to see which anime we've both seen.
Okay.
We can talk about that later. I think this is a good place to stop. So,
Yeah.
as always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Super Dario World and at Dario SDW on Instagram. What? Whoops.
Oh, it turns out we didn't have audio for that whole thing.
Oh my god. It happened again? Jesus
Damn.
Christ.
Oh, we're not even streaming. All right, I'm gonna take off my pants.
Wait, I don't get it. Why can't I hear you? This is really annoying.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't hear the the outro song. And it's supposed to be
Oh.
playing. Like, this really
see
annoys
that.
me. Well, you keep talking while I figure this out.
No, it's not playing.
I know it's not playing.
It's not playing
So I'm
because I'm
trying
listening to it.
You're listening to it?
No, I'm listening to the stream.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Damn, why won't it?
Damn, I sound good.
Finally, for the first time.
Also, if you look at the stream, my video looks better than on Zoom. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, look at it.
I mean, it's not as great as mine, but whatever.
Well, I mean, you're wrong, but okay.
Yeah, fine. Well, we'll just end it up like this. Again, like, share, subscribe. That really helps me out. I really appreciate it. Eric, is there anything you want to shout out?
Let me mute you on the stream because that was weird. What was that? Shout out to my homies at Ufotable for making top fucking tier anime. Shout out to Chainsaw Man because Denji is based as fuck.
Yep.
Best protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to not Zoom because it's very annoying to try to get to streaming.
Yeah.
And shout out to all the bad bitches out there. Who
Fair
let
enough.
it hang out.
Fair enough.
Let them hang out.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I'm not sure how the rest of the week is gonna go for me. For sure, next Monday I'm planning on doing another live stream at 7 p.m. Maybe we should catch up on football stuff. Are you free on? No, you have class on Monday. That sucks for you.
Yeah, unless you like do it like late, but probably don't want
No,
to do
I'll
that.
do a live one at 7 p.m. But we'll get together one of these days and we'll do a football one. Next
Yeah,
week,
there's a lot to catch up on football.
yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do for the next Otako Tuesday yet. We're aiming for the Swordsmith Village arc. Hopefully, we both finish it on time. If not, and I don't know if we're gonna do it live. Maybe. I like doing things live, because then the chat gives us ideas and they, correct us when we're wrong and we don't have to do research. And we just assume
Also,
that they're right.
Also, it you can kind of on the fly check if something is wrong. Whereas
True.
if you're recording and it turns out you never recorded the audio, it's like, well,
Which has happened before.
yeah.
Yeah. So, there you go. Like I said, as always, thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe. Seriously. Seriously, it really helps out.
Yeah.
And we'll see you again next time.